Oops, I got a call. So anyway, we're talking about how true geula is waking up, not doing anything from the program. So we get a choice. There's consciousness, and that's God exhaling, and we're breathing it in. It's a seamless flow of oneness. And Kedusha, or holiness, is the vessel, the light, and Kedusha is when the light and the vessel are one. The Klipa is when there's a vessel and the light that are separate. Chassidim were called the wild geniuses because of their mindfulness, their awareness, its ability to become really one with the vessel. And I want to share, I had a divine masculine download of what it really means to be a divine masculine versus wounded. And it's resourceful, patient, willing to choose by free choice, intense even in vulnerability, illuminates with free will to be and then with free will to be close and to stay, with free choice, right? Creative and forgiving and doesn't hold grudges, listens with curiosity and attention, humble, satisfied with little, present, adaptive, and grieving in a way that's slowing and tolerant and merciful and understanding and independent, and can handle a lot of power, not always grieving, but capable of the grieving when it is called for it. Carries the load as a way of rising to the occasion, funny and humorous and responsible and disciplined and consistent out of love, and motivations for the goal, sacrifices himself by going first to lead and protect and provide, by knowing what lies ahead and being the guide, the master, because of having jumped through the levels in the series of his idea of himself in the future where he would be alone and facing loneliness. So he's willing to be even numb and self-sacrificing for the sake of the mother, the queen, the first Eve, the Chava, the life that's impersonal. And I wanted to workshop this, so I went to a couple 12-step meetings, and there's 12-step meetings for everything. Even when you're looking at things like this, like relationships, like CODA, SLAA, and many more. So I was looking at this, looking at other people's defects versus, in other words, being more in the malchus, like remembering what we said, like not being haughty, considering ourselves to be low and poor, and also like using the different parts of the brain, the different types of intelligence, and being willing to be one, the vessel and light as one. So looking to see where the triggers are, where the separations are. So some could be like looking at the other's defects, not mine, and even professional fixing, but really with an agenda, like where things are not adding up. So choosing myself and accepting myself versus feeling like a failure, recognizing I make mistakes, and that I can be honest with what I really want, and I don't have to look at like how other people's money, I think it's easier for them to have it, or their blessings or their house or their car or whatever. Like I'm trying to give examples. So when we expect others, if I expect someone else to take care of me because I took care of other people, I end up disappointed, even enraged. So realigning those impulses into patience to let the other people figure it out, I end up with the boundaries and the limits, not tolerating violations, because when we have anxiety and uncertainty, it's a conflicted will. It's repetitive thoughts, but we practice asking the inner critic, why is it telling us the opposite of what we really want to hear? Why is it telling us we won't get what we want, or that it's just my luck? And I asked my inner critic, and it said, I'm trying to protect you, because how could you actually manage the solace and the quiet time and the solitude and quiet, the peace and quiet, really it's called, right? And the space. Versus that auto-adapting, consumed by those I'm with. This is like the inner antenna. Instead of being on others, it's on me. And then even expressing myself, because I'm learning about my own self. Because how do you manage a disappointment and rage? So I would do the small check-ins with myself, and then also the idea that where did I come from? Like, so some of these like resonance things. It was like the raging parents. So I would fantasize that I'm so special, like an idol. I remember I found these very sexual stories at a house where I used to stay. I was about 12 or 13, and I was boarding at the house, and I found these sexual stories, like pornography from the adult father. I'm gonna just not say their name, obviously. And but I was so young to be sexualized. And then also, like, I remember being punished with abuse. So the fact that punishment was abusive, it was emotional and verbal, and I would make a comment now just to say sometimes I was punished just for human things, right? So being abused for being human, and then obviously it happened because of them. So the emotionally unavailable parent and the men, and then choosing myself also means releasing the shame. So I was very grateful to have a lot of this progress, and we'll stop here and continue shortly. I'll do another video now for tomorrow because it's Friday, and it's a shorter Shabbos after 4 o'clock, just before 5 o'clock. So I want to make sure that I that I have everything, that I do the video now instead of like waiting till tomorrow just in case I'm rushing.